Hey guys, this is EpicEpics here, and I'm coming you guys with another video today. Today I want to talk about individual skills compared to a team's playability. I want to talk about split pushing. I want to talk about proper laning, proper warding, and how to shut down players that are even better than you in individual skills. So here's a game. I'm playing with my teammates Simba, Sna, and this is John, but he changed his name to Merlini since we were pubbing with him earlier. And here we got matched up with EG.Fear and EG.Jeyo. So if you take a look at their Dota profile, you'll see they're on Team EG, 1,200 wins. This is the real deal. These guys are obviously better than us in their individual skill levels. They were in the international too earlier, but I want to show you guys how you can properly shut down these players, even though they are really good players. So guys, first we'll look at the top lane, right? Top lane is played by the solo Windrunner, played by EG.Fear. And as you see top, our team, Simba, Sna, Crystal Maiden, Juggernaut. Now, Juggernaut probably is not the ideal, ideal hero that you want to run in your safe lane, but pubbing here, we wanted to just, have some fun. And as you see, we're not doing the proper thing. We're not keeping creep equilibrium, and we're pushing our creep wave in, and we're giving EG.Fear free levels here. As off lane, your safe lane, as your off lane, this is the best thing that can happen to an off lane. You never want to push your creep out. You want to pull your creep camps. You want to pull this creep camp. EG.Fear tried to block this, but I'm not sure if he made a mistake where he purposely tried to give vision so that he could use his power shot to last hit these creeps. Now, anyways, as EG.Fear blocked off this creep camp and this creep camp, he is thinking that he wants to completely deny any pull attempts from here and here, as well as shutting down any creeping attempts in the safe creep camp from our Fury and jungle. Now, what's the response? What's the proper response to this? Well, what our team captain Sna decided to do was harass EG, as you see he misses Frost Nova here, but harass EG.Fear out of the lane, constantly threaten him with a backstab gank with this ward. So as you see, the creep equilibrium is here. EG.Fear knows that he cannot stay here and get experience safely. Instead, his best choice probably is here to dance around with the Crystal Maiden and try to steal something from the Crystal Maiden. Now, even if as you saw, he got one creep, and even if he clicks on, yeah, he did. He clicks on this jungle creep. He is not winning the lane because our Juggernaut, as a matter of fact, is getting free farm under the tower, and he is getting free range experience. Where our support is also getting solo experiences off any jungle creeps that he does manage to get. So with the proper counter warding and with the proper warding, you can shut down a player who's better than you individually. But as a team, you guys can, completely shut him down. You guys can completely dominate him in a lane, even though his skill level is better. Now I'm gonna speed up a little bit, and as you see that with a proper ganking, you could do even more with these players. So we know that he's going to come and try this again because he's been doing it all game, right? He decides to dance around, get some jungle neutrals. He decides to fight a Crystal Maiden, and here, as you see, it is the same stuff, but we're looking at his mana, right? Our Sna is looking at his mana, and he says on Skype during the game, he's out of mana. He's out of mana. He power shotted too many times. He got too greedy. He decides that he has a tango. Even if Furion comes, he'll be fine. And he has boots of speed. And he decides that, hey, our Juggernaut doesn't even have boots of speed. Even if he goes Blade Fury, he'll be able to get away. So here we see if a player who's really good tends to get really cocky, and with the proper ganking, 3-on-1 situation, if you guys aren't bad players, so most likely you guys can make something happen. And let's see what happens here. Furion sprouts, he calling blades from the past to chase, but as expected, he tangles out, and he has he had boots, so he ran faster than our player Juggernaut here. But as you see, our Furion, he is very very consistent and insistent, persistent, he decides to TP behind him with the level 1 teleportation and do a second sprout instead of conserving mana for his jungling, and it works out. We shut down EG.Fear, gets first blood off of the best player on the other team, and our Juggernaut is now level 5 as opposed to level 4. Our Crystal Maiden is level 3, and our Furion is level 4. So second lane that I'm gonna talk to you guys about is the off lane. Now as you see here, we spent wars on top, so we do not have the wars bottom for me, the off lane player, Sand King in this case, to see ganks coming. So what's the best things that I can do? Well, I stay near the tower for experience. I never want to go past the river because I don't know who could be coming here. They have a jungling druid played by Jeyo, EG, and there's a Pudge and a centaur. So a Pudge, if he gets close, the only way I can escape is through Burrow Strike, and Invisible is not going to do me any good with Hoof Stomp and Double Edge. So the best case I can do is stay near the tower and stack the Ancient Creeps for our mid lane player. Here I want to showcase you guys that even if ganks do come and you're in a relative safe situation, then your individual skills come into play. Pudge comes here, you want to try to dodge the hook. Even if I did get hooked with my invisible and burrow strike, it would have been a relatively safe situation. Now even though if you're a confident player as Sand King, you never want to put yourself in a situation where you're constantly surviving through the skin of your teeth, where you're constantly trying to, do long jukes to survive. You want to stay in a relatively safe situation. Now as you see here, I'm gonna go back on my wards and I am going to pay for it very soon. So I check out that Pudge is level 4 and I am level 6. I have my ultimate. He has no stun, so I want to go on an attempt to kill him. And here you see I stun him and I cast my ulti. I'm saying, hey, I got a kill. But no, the enemy team will be smart and they immediately respond with a kill. Now if Pudge was any tankier, or if he came any earlier, I would not have gotten a kill and I would have just fed and convincingly lost the lane. And later, very soon, you see me make another mistake as soon as I revive. I see that we have a lot of pressure put on our bot tower, and I saw that the Syllabear's life is very low, so I decided to TP in and get this experience. I see the Pudge attempt to hook, so I dodge it with the stun, and I see, hey, let's get that Spirit Bear, but I do get him, but I pay with my life, and that's 2 deaths in a row. I pretty much lost the advantage I had. I'm level 8, these guys are almost both level 6, and bot lane is pretty much over. The tower is going to be pushed down. So, you never want to go back on what I said. You want to stay in a safe situation, and with 3 heroes here under the tower, that was not a safe situation. Going past the river without having a ward to see that somebody was going to come to gank, that was not a safe situation. Without reiterating too much, I will move on to the next lane. So I went back a little bit in the replay so you guys can see what is going on in the mid lane. Our mid lane player is a Tinker versus a Queen of Pain, and as you guys know, this is distinct disadvantage for our mid lane player, because Queen of Pain having the blink, he would definitely win any contest for the different rune controls. So best thing he can do is to stack up his last hitting damage and to play, as you see, in a defensive situation and harass her down as much as possible. But with a bottle and with a blink, there's not much you can do. So what if your team is put in a situation like that, where it's not even about individual skill level, it's just about hero composition? Well, as I mentioned earlier, you must ask your team to help, your team to work together. So here I am helping to stack the ancient camp for him, and the Tinker, with after getting a soul ring, getting rearm and marshal the machines, can easily come back if he were to get 2 or 3 stacks of ancients once in a while. And also you want constantly threat ganks from your jungle player to threaten the mid lane, because you know that no matter how good you are, you're in a disadvantaged position to start with. So again, less focus on individual skills, more focus on team. And here I want to talk about sacrificing oneself for your teammate. So a lot of situations like here, the Crystal Maiden doesn't have much aside from a boost of speed. So I, as the Sand King, have 2 escape spells. So I want to try to draw their fire. So as you saw, I dodged the Pudge Hook, and then going invisible, I tricked the Centaur to thinking that I'm there and wasted his Hoof Stomp. Had it been the Crystal Maiden that was being chased, he probably would have been ran down by the Centaur and had gotten Hoof Stomped. So, as a player, if you're playing a mobile player such as a Windrunner or Sand King, you actually want to put yourself in the firing line. Here is when you want to test your own individual skill level, because you are the only hero that has the ability to escape, and you want to put your more vulnerable players such as your Furion, your Crystal Maiden out of harm's way. And if it was on the other team, then if you're Queen of Pain, you want to put your Pudge out of harm's way if you're getting chased. And again, we're talking about more 3-man ganks with Tinker's Boost to travel up. All you need is a Crystal Maiden. As soon as the Crystal Maiden walks in, Tinker TP, Furion TP. After your Frostbite gets dropped, there's a laser, there's a sprout, and you're ganking again in the 3 versus 1 situation. So here we're back with our focus on this ward. With this ward, you could see TP supports coming top when you're trying to gank, and them without an aggressive ward cannot see that there were TP supports here. There's actually another jungle player coming in to the fight. So in their mind, they're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be a 4 versus 2 fight, and with when you're playing against players who are better skill level, so people from EG, you want to make sure that you always have a numbers advantage. So you don't want to fight a 5 versus 5 team fight. You want to pick off someone and fight a 4 versus 5 team fight. You never want to gank with 2 on 2, even if you have the initiation. You want to fight when it's 4 versus 2. So here we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when the numbers are even. Pudge gets the bite on our Juggernaut player, but with a quick Blade Fury, he gets away. I get 2 people stunned after the Shackle Shot, and knowing stun and on cooldown, do ultimate, and that's 2 pick off and 1 pick off. So now as you see, the Queen of Pain comes in. Even though I salve and earn, Queen of Pain picks me off. So it turns to a 2 on 2 for 2 exchange, and here with the bottle, our Simba gets picked off as well. So when you're playing with players who are very high skill level, when it's a 4 versus 4 contestant, you actually will end up behind, or most cases you will end up behind, because he'll have superior juking, and without a significant advantage, as you saw the kills were very even, you want to avoid these situations. So I want to talk to you guys about shutting down your enemy carry then, right? Jeyo, EG.Jeyo playing here is the Syllabear. With 13 minutes of free farm, he has a Tranquil Boots, Midas, and Orb of Venom, and a Boots of Speed on his bear, along with 2,000 gold. So what's the proper response? It's very fast ganks as soon as you see him. So he comes out of the jungle, then instantly you outnumbered him with a Furion TP and a Tinker right away. And as you see, and the enemy is making the correct response with counter ganking, TP supports coming back in. But what you want to do is you always want to threaten ganks. Even if our team wasn't there, you want to threaten him and force him out of the his farming free farm lane farming as fast as possible. You want to be aggressive, not overly aggressive, by feeding pickoffs, and you want to continue to pick off their players. If the Druid decides to continue his free farm, that means his team will continue to get outnumbered and picked off. And as you see here, 6 to 13, and us smoking into the jungle, knowing that he came out of the lane to probably go back to his jungle, you again respond with the proper responses and tries to shut him down. And the better the player is, the more cocky they are. And as you see here, Jeyo, after dying, decides to buy back right away and go going back to his farm. Well, that's not a problem because he's not gonna do much at this stage of the game. Compared to his buyback cost, and without buying back to help supporting his team, he actually costed Pudge, Piano Pain, and Centaur's lives. So again, it was 6 and 13, now it's 7 to 18. We're talking about more and more pickoff and an advantage going more and more our way. Individually, our carry, Simba, may not be as good of a farmer as Jeyo from EG. You know, as an off-lane player, I am definitely nowhere close to EG.Fear, but by focusing myself more in dedication to pulling the Ancients for my teammates, more to just outnumbering the opponents by going ganking with our team captain Sna, we can pull disadvantage situations into advantage situations. And without repeating myself too much, I want to show you guys that, you know, when you're fighting a winning battle, even if you're not as good as the other player, you can start trolling the other team. So here, you see that EG.Fear, being low on mana, he can't really do anything with the Force Staff. Instead, he shoots a Shackle Shot, and I blink out his Shackle Shot, Pearl Strike him, and our team comes and kills him. Now, normally, if he had the disadvantage, there's no way I could even attempt to pull any Q attempts like that. But here, you know, with him being out of mana, with him only having a Force Staff, Phase, and a Ring of Bask, and me having, you know, a Blink Dagger, it's very hard for him to do anything. You know, your skill cap, even if it's very high, there's not much you can do with a one unit that has only 1 or 2 active skills. So this pretty much is the end of my tutorial. As you see, it's 31 versus 8 because of all the pickoffs. Looking at the Syllabear, 147 farm, and our Simba have 139 farm. So, you know, despite getting picked off 5 times, and our Juggernaut being 18 and 1, he managed, you know, being dying once and dying 5 times, he managed to have more CS than our Juggernaut. So the only way for us to have come out was by taking Roshan, by doing stuff such as, you know, going for ganks, giving Juggernaut 19 kills, right? The only reason why the Juggernaut has a Divine Rapier is not because his farm is significantly better, but that rather his team stayed with him, did not let him get picked off. His team picked off people for him so that he has more gold than even a professional player that played in the internationals. So I hope this video helped you guys and give you guys more confidence when you guys play against people who are better than you. You know, if you're in-housing with your friends and they're better than you, stay together. You know, don't fight, don't engage in fights that you know you guys can't win for sure. Don't engage in team fights when you guys are in even numbers. Always take the advantage. Here, again, I'm talking about getting the Tinker out of trouble. You know, if you're the support, save your carry. You know, be fodder for your carry so that they don't have to die. And if you do that, you can win even against players who played in the internationals. Thank you guys. This is spF EpicEpics here. I'm signing off. Thank you for watching, and subscribe, comment, and like.